Chronicles of an Age of Darkness, Volume 7, The Wazir and the Witch. Now, Dragon dragged into Wade's adventure in the Walls of Warwolf was certainly high adventure. But the sarcasm was richest of all in Volumes 6 and 7, The Witchstone and Wonder Worker, and was pretty much a sequel to that one, The Wazir and the Witch. These were possibly my favourites for a while. Absolutely adored 6 and 7. I'll read this out. The hermit crab, a being with powers at least equal to those of any wizard or sorcerer, dwelt on a small island in the harbour of Anton-Chilwamon's capital city. The crab took exception to the violent political disputes which had disturbed the peace of its domicile. To restore the peace, the crab commanded Justina and Varaza Charvadan to declare a truce and resolve the differences. This they did. Had they disobeyed, they would have been turned inside out by a wrathful crab, therefore the matter of their compliance is scarcely a mystery. This is a true history of the final days of the rule of Justina Frug upon the island of Anton-Chilwamon, and is the only such history which is worth the price of a fooskin upon which it is written. Fooskin. And remember, your historian was there. Although it forms part of the vast fantasy epic, this volume is a complete spectacular tale in its own right. Cover illustration by Steve Crisp. Pretty sure he does more, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, The Wazir and the Witch, Chronicles of an Age of Darkness, Volume 7. Okay, it was published in Corgi Books. Copyright 1990, Corgi edition published 1990. So it's a 1990 book. I'll read out a bit of chapter 1, like I do with these reviews sometimes. Begin at the beginning. Bolfrigalaska Petico. Hugh Cook in the Chronicles books often uses very long words, making up new names. And, he does that for, fantasy authors do that for their countries and maps and things quite a lot, but he uses long ones, particularly quite a bit, does Hugh. A curse word. No, it is not a curse word, though it comes within a couple of syllables of being obscene in the extreme. While Frigalaska Petico, is this perhaps a dish of fried seagull livers mixed with a touch of basilisk gall and served with side helpings of baked yams and diamond-shaped segments of dried jellyfish? A good guess, but wrong. For Tol Frigdalcaptico is a word which denotes the above-mentioned dish of seagull livers, and the mystery which he confronts is Bolfrigalaskaptico. Give up? Very well. All will now be revealed and your education will thus be made complete. Take down your atlas and open it to a map of the continent of Yestron. Run your finger down the western coast of the continent until you reach the equator. Here you will find the huge lagoon known as Manamalago. What vast and slovenly river of fever, fogs, and predatory crocodiles enters itself into this lagoon? Why, the River Ka, of course. And what is the city of the marshlands and malaria which lies just upstream from the estuary of that river? Look. So it goes on, of course, but that's something which you get out of Hugh Cook's Chronicles of an Age of Darkness quite a bit. The sarcastic whippies. Is this perhaps a dish of fried seagull livers? And then the mockery. That's how the saga works a lot of the time, with that sort of comments of fantasy ideas of trouble and obscene things and sort of gross encounters with animals and excrement and all sorts of crap. That's one of the key motifs of the Chronicles of an Age of Darkness, using witty, stupid things like that. The volumes are beset with that sort of idea. Sort of mocking analogies and things like that. That's how he does a lot of the story. I mean, like Piers Anthony uses puns a lot in Xanth. That's a standard thing which Hugh Cook does pretty much all the way through the Chronicles of an Age of Darkness. That's how that sort of stuff works with him, being clever and witty with the jokes. So that's volume 7, 1990. I would have read this pretty much just about when it first came out, pretty quickly. I was reading a lot of fantasy books in the late 80s, early 90s. But this is, although all 10 are connected as volumes, this is closely follows on from volume 6, which was also set on Unturned Gentleman, and works just about as a proper enough sequel when all of them are, as it says, Tales of Bone Ride, and this one is. But it works generally quite strongly as a sequel to number 6 of Wishstone and the Wonder Workers. So yeah, this one I enjoyed a fair bit too. Fantasy sagas, stories at their best. Yeah.